So guys, today is a real exciting day for all of us. We have a special guest going to come on board with us this morning. So we'll be waiting for him to join, and I will introduce him when he joins. But today is our inaugural meeting. So it's, we're really excited about that, joining between Dardanelle and Fort Smith. And who would agree that Miss Cindy Hargrave is doing an amazing job?
Listen, so you can hear it's recorded.
So it looks like Dr. Lee Johnson has joined us.
Hello.
So let me introduce him. He's a great friend to all of us. He is a state representative for the state of Arkansas. Isn't that exciting? He is a doctor and he donates a large amount of time serving athletes in the school system. That's where I became first acquainted with him because my son played football in Greenwood and he treated the athletes that were hurt on the field. So let's give a warm round of welcome to Dr. Lee Johnson. Can everybody clap?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hi. Are y'all having a good morning?
Yeah.
I am too. It's a wonderful day here. I'm in Little Rock today. Have any of y'all ever been to Little Rock?
No.
It's the capital. Do you know what the capital is? That's like the headquarters for the government of Arkansas. Can you believe it? Look, I'll show you. It's right outside my window. See that? How cool is that? Huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? So I have two different jobs. My first job is to be a doctor. So I'm a doctor and I work in the emergency department in Fort Smith. Has anybody ever been to the emergency room? Yeah, sometimes that's where you have to go when you're sick or if you get hurt. So if someone's sick or they get hurt or they need an ambulance, they come see me at the hospital and I try to take care of them. And that's a really good job. I've really enjoyed having that job. It's very interesting. You get to see lots and lots of different kinds of people and you get to help people when they're sick and hurt, which makes you feel good about your job. Sometimes it's a hard job, taking care of sick people because it can be really busy, but it's a fun job and it's kind of exciting too because every day is different. You never know what you're going to see when you wake up and go to work. I've been doing that for about 25 years, which is a long time. That's more than some of y'all have been alive, I guess. It's a fun job. My wife's a pediatrician, so she's also a doctor. She takes care of kids. Do y'all have any questions about being a doctor or about my doctor job?
I do.
Yeah, tell me your question.
Hi, doctor. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. What can I do?
I'm Geraldine Romero. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why do you help people that are sick?
Why do I help people when they're sick?
Uh-huh.
That's a good question. So, you can do a lot of things with your job or with your life, right? And one of the things that I thought I wanted to do was to try to help people. And you can help people a lot of different ways. You can help people at their house with, getting dressed and cooking food. You can help people fix their cars when their cars aren't working well. And I'm not a very good cook and I'm not very good at fixing cars. And so I decided to try to help people with their bodies when they were sick. I'm pretty good at learning science stuff. And so I learned how to take care of people when they were sick. And that was the kind of thing that I was good at. And I like helping people and doing things I'm good at, just like y'all do, I'm sure. Yes.
You help people with like brains?
Yes. So if someone hurts their brain, say they're in a bicycle wreck and they fall and hit their head, or if they're in a car accident, I would help them when they hurt their brain, try to make sure it's not serious and try to make sure they get taken care of. Maybe if their brain's not working quite the right way, sometimes the brain kind of malfunctions. When that happens, I try to help them with that.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, if we're not talking, let's put it on mute because we want to be able to hear Dr. Johnson. So any more questions about his doctor side? I see one in Shelley's class. Shelley, will you open it up so someone can ask a question there?
Okay, Stacy.
Go ahead.
Question.
What's the name when they get sick?
I'm sorry, what did she say?
If it's sick.
Yeah, and she was talking about if you get sick, you go to the hospital.
That's right, sweetie. That's exactly right. So if if you're sick and you have to go to the hospital, you want someone to be there to see you, right?
Right.
And so that's what my job is. My job is to be standing at the hospital and waiting for sick people to come see me.
Is that what you did with your arm and you had to go to the hospital? Yeah.
Yeah, so I would, myself or other doctors like me, we stand there at the hospital in the ER. We're there all the time. Even when you're sleeping, we're there waiting on somebody to come in and see us. Every hour of the day, somebody's there. And so I take my turns and I'll go in and stand there in the emergency department. And then when people come in who are sick or hurt, we try to help them the best we can. I have another job too. My other job is being what's called a state representative. That's a harder job to explain. So when I'm not doctoring, I try to help our government make good laws to help the people in our community live better. So do y'all know what laws are? They're kind of the rules. Do y'all have rules in your classrooms and where you work? Everybody has rules, right? Like right now, your rule is you're not supposed to talk unless I'm talking, right? And you're supposed to sit in your chairs and not get up. Well, the state of Arkansas has rules too. And rules are good. Rules help us live in a really organized way. And they make sure people play fair. When you living life is kind of like playing a game sometimes. And, when you're living your life, you want to make sure everybody's playing fair. And so my job is to help make sure that we make good rules to live by in Arkansas so that everybody is treated fairly and everybody has a good opportunity to have a good life. Some of the rules are, the kind of things that help with policemen or firemen or help get your streets better. Everybody, when they're driving on the road, somebody has to fix your streets. And so a lot of the rules we make help your life in just everything you do. Some of the rules we make help people with parks. Have y'all ever been to any of the parks? Did y'all ever go to Creekmore or any of the parks there in Fort Smith to play? So some of the rules we make help make sure those parks are there for people. And some of the rules help with libraries. If you've ever been to the library, that's a good place. Do y'all have any question about the rules we make or how I help make those rules? That's not as much fun to talk about as doctrine stuff, is it?
So it looks like there's a question over in Elizabeth Willett's class.
Yeah,
So let's
what do you have?
unmute them so that he can ask his question.
Hey, I got a question for medical stuff.
Okay.
Where the people work at the desk, like in the front desk?
I
Do
do.
you need any medical training to work on their front desk?
Well, that's a great question. So there are two types of people that work on the front desk. And the short answer is yes, you need some medical training because when people walk up, the person at the front desk, sometimes we have a lot of patients in the emergency department. They have to decide whether that person needs to be seen right then or whether they can wait a little while to see the doctor. And so they need to be able to have some medical training to make a smart decision about who gets seen first and who can wait a little while. But there's also people that work at the desk that just take your information, ask you how old you are and where you live and how much you weigh and those kind of things. Those people don't necessarily have to have medical training. So there's always a couple of people working at the front desk and some of them have training and some of them don't.
Okay. What about being a janitor? like in a hospital?
No, that's a great question too. So there's a lot of people that work in the hospital. One of the reasons I like the hospital so much is because it is a whole variety of people that work, and we need everybody there doing the best job they can to make everything work well for everyone. And so we have people that do the house cleaning and clean the rooms after people have been sick and leave the room. We need somebody to go in and clean it. And of course, we like our hospital to look nice, just like our house. And so we have people that clean the halls and clean the bathrooms. And those people don't have to have medical training. They don't have to know how to take care of sick people. They just need to know how to make beds and clean rooms.
Okay, because I was looking for like a job for any kind of cleaning. I was wondering, you know, if they were willing to hire without any medical training.
Of course. And yes, they are. They hire people without medical training in a variety of places. There's also people that are called escorts, because sometimes we have to move people from one place in the hospital to another place.
Yeah,
And people come and put people in wheelchairs or roll them on the stretcher from one place to another. And those people don't have any medical training either.
all right,
There's a variety of jobs for people at hospitals without medical training.
okay, okay. Just want to know.
It's a good
That's
question.
great questions.
Does anybody else have any questions?
So I see one over there in kiosk 3807.
My goodness.
Okay, ask your question.
Yeah, as a state representative over all the state.
That's a great question too. So the state's divided up into different areas so that everybody has a chance to have a representative. So in Arkansas, there are 100 different areas. So we have 100 different representatives in Arkansas. So my area is around Greenwood in the town called Lavaca, in a town now called Hackett, in Bonanza, that in part of Fort Smith. So my area is there, but then other representatives have different areas. Depending on how many people live in each area determines how big the area is. So yeah, there's 100 different representatives. And there's also something called a senator. And a senator's has a bigger area, and there's 35 of those that work in the state of Arkansas.
So Dr. Johnson, talk a little bit about why you wanted to be a representative.
So, okay, that's a great question too, Rhonda. So for me, I wanted to be involved in my community. I like to help people. And because I do emergency medicine, I have extra time. I'll go and work and stand in the hospital, and I'll be there for part of the day. And then the rest of the day I'm free and I don't have anything to do. And I like to stay busy and help people. And so I thought it might be good to try to help people in my community, just like I help people in the hospital. And so I started getting involved with my hometown in Greenwood, trying to help Greenwood have a better place to live. I like things like the trails and the parks in Greenwood. So I wanted to work with that. And then I also wanted to make sure we had good water to drink and safe streets to drive on and good fire people to help us if we had a fire. And I did that in Greenwood for a while, and then thought it might be fun to try to do that at a bigger level, right? Because just like Greenwood, every city has its own little government trying to make the city better. And then the state has a bigger government that helps make the whole state better. So for me, this was a way to spend time helping people in my community when I wasn't working at the hospital.
So how could everyone listening to you this morning, how could they help?
Oh, there's lots of ways you can help. So you can help people every day. One of the ways that you can help is listening to your family. And if there's a concern that they have or something you can help them with, whether that's something around the house, or whether that's something out in the community, taking advantage of those opportunities are important. So I have people that help me all the time, right? I'm able to do the job that I do at the hospital and the job that I do here in Little Rock at the state capitol because I have people helping me with all the other things in my life that I can't do as well. So I have people that help me clean my house sometimes. I have people that help me fix my car. I have people that help me go to the store sometimes for me. And so there's lots of ways you can help people in your community. And then that gives those people the opportunity to help other people as well. So it's all a machine that works together, and all of us have a good opportunity to help. And anything you can do to help those around you helps your community as well.
Any more questions for Dr. Johnson? We have another question over in Carrie's
Dean
class.
has one. Dean has one.
Oh, Dean has one. Okay, let's let Dean go and then we'll do Carrie's class.
Okay, Dean, ask your question, sweetie.
Why can talk to them?
What? What?
A wheelchair, chair.
The chair?
Yeah.
Well, what's your question for the doctor? Do you have a question for the doctor?
Yeah.
Okay, well, ask the doctor your question, sweetie.
What the question?
Dean, are you saying what is he doing?
Yeah.
Okay, he's at the Capitol. Let him, maybe he can tell us a
Right now,
little bit why
I'll
he's
tell you
there.
exactly what I'm doing today. That's a great question. So I woke up this morning and I had to go meet someone for coffee to talk about some issues with how you get gas in your house. And then I came over here to have this meeting with you. And then after we're done here, I'm going to go tour a factory where there's a company called Amazon. And Amazon gets all these supplies in Little Rock, and there's all these robots that move the supplies around and get them delivered to your house. And so I'm going to go with some other state representatives, and we're going to tour the Amazon facility. And then I have a meeting at 1 to talk about how schools are funded and education funding. And that's going to be a really good meeting. I'm excited to talk to some people and learn more about how schools get money. And then after that, later on today, I'm meeting with some other people to talk about some healthcare issues. So today's a really good day in Little Rock at the Capitol. It's a planning day where I'm trying to plan how I'm going to help more people.
That was a great question. Thanks, Dean. So we have another question in Carrie's class.
Yes.
It takes a minute to get them unmuted. So
That's okay. I'm not in any hurry.
there we go.
What's the other question?
So ask your question.
Okay, somebody buy a spider at your house to bite you, what to do? They to the hospital?
So are you asking him which he likes better, the hospital or working at the Capitol?
No, I said a spider, but it bite you.
Oh,
If
if
a spider bites you,
bites
yes,
you.
ma'am.
okay.
So that's a good question. So there are lots of different kinds of spiders that you can have that are around you. There are really only 2 spiders in Arkansas that are poisonous, and they have fun names. One is called the brown recluse spider, and one's called the black widow spider. And if you get bit by one of those, or any spider that you're scared of, you can come to the hospital, and we would look at it and make sure that you're okay and not going to have any problems. The good news is, even those 2 kind of more scary spiders, they don't cause serious problems. They just cause a sore on your skin or make you achy and feel bad. But we don't have any kind of dangerous spiders in Arkansas that would do any serious damage to anyone, which is great. I see a question in kiosk 3807.
I will ask that because also one day I was going to the park, I saw a white spider.
Most spiders aren't dangerous at all. It would be fine.
Those that's a scary spiders.
It's scary to see them for sure.
Okay, let's let someone else ask a question.
Okay, Brianna, go ahead.
What happens when you cut your vein?
When you cut your vein, so if you accidentally cut yourself, you bleed. But the good news is that most bleeding is from veins, and veins don't bleed a lot, and it's real easy to get the bleeding stopped. I cut my finger. See that? I cut my finger. I was cutting vegetables to make a salad for my wife, and I just right through, and But it's okay. It bled a little bit and I put a Band-Aid on it and it stopped. The good news is I'm a doctor, so I took care of it. No problem.
So tell them the difference between veins and arteries.
So there are two types of tubes in your body that carry blood. There's a type of tube called the artery, and that takes all the nutrients and oxygen you need to live out to your muscles so you can have all the energy you need to move around. And then once all the energy and nutrients is sucked out of the blood, it comes back to the heart and the lungs in a different set of tubes called veins to get new oxygen and nutrients. And then the heart pumps it back out to your body through the tubes called the arteries again. So it's just this big circle, and the arteries are the ones that take blood out with all the good stuff in it. And then the veins bring the blood back to refill it with good stuff. And it just goes round and round all the time in your body with your heart pumping and pumping without you even thinking about it.
We have another question over in kiosk 3807.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my dad's having a pacemaker and he's 87. And you think he will survive this procedure he's having today?
So he's having that. Yeah, that's a great question. I'm sorry he's suffering with that, but the good news is that type of procedure is we're pretty good at that procedure now. You know, years and years ago, it was a new procedure. Now it's something we do all the time. And you know, most of the time people even at his age do just fine with the pacemaker. So they'll come in and the doctor will make a little cut and run a little wire to the heart and put it under the skin and then kind of sew it up. And yeah, I think he'll probably do just fine.
We have a question over in Sarah Reed's class.
I have a question about swollen feet. What can I take for a swollen foot?
So it depends on what caused the foot to swell. If you hurt it and it's swollen,
It's been hurting.
yeah, if you twisted it and it's swollen, things you can do is when you're not having to sit in a chair, you can prop it up, you know, lay back and put it up above you on some pillows. That helps take the swelling down because that makes the swelling flow backwards, like with gravity. Sometimes you can put a little ice pack on it and that'll help with the swelling. And sometimes you can even take a little medicine to help with swelling, but you'd want to talk to your doctor before you did that.
Okay.
I think we have another question over in kiosk 3807.
Okay, Dusty. Ask your question, Dusty.
He's saying if it happens when you cut your arm, that's what he's saying.
It's
Dusty, are
fine.
you asking questions about when somebody draws your blood?
So that happens sometimes, and you're right. This is where they usually do it. Right there, they put that needle in and draw a little blood, but that's very safe. What they're doing is they're putting the needle into the veins and getting blood to test.
Well, it looks like we have taken up a lot of your time this morning,
Oh,
Dr. Johnson, but we really do appreciate you coming and being a part of our new innovative technology. And so would everybody tell Dr. Johnson, thank you? Can y'all say thank you?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. This has been the best part of my day. I'm happy to help kick off your grand opening here with your morning news, and y'all have me back again, okay?
We will. Thank
Okay.
you, Dr.
Thank you.
Johnson.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I think we're almost out of time, aren't we, Cindy?
Yes.
One thing we want to say is Cindy's going to be out of pocket in the morning, and so am I, so that we will not be having the morning news tomorrow. But we'll pick, I know it. I hate it. I wish I could figure out how to be, 12 places at one time. This morning, I'm actually coming to you from my home because it's Grandparents' Day everywhere, and I'm trying to be in more places at one time. And so I'll be back in the office here in a few in Fort Smith. we'll be back live on Thursday. We will be doing a live event at noon at 11:15 tomorrow, where we come back on because, you know, this is DSP week and we're so excited about that. We continue to want to let the DSPs know how grateful we are for everything they're doing for us. So to each of you, thank you for all the amazing questions. We were so excited to have Dr. Johnson today, and y'all have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
Boy,